Welcome to part 2. In this video we are going to focus on worksheet fishing. The first instruction on fishing, it says merge and center the range A1 through E1. Like I said in the first video, that if you are given a range of cells, you are supposed to make changes on any range of cells. The simplest way is to type in the range of cells exactly as it appears. It says A1 through E1. Set merge and center, go to home tab. Under the alignment, just click on this thing. It is for merge and center. Click on it, and then okay, let's go to the next instruction. Says a range of cells again, A3 through E3. Type it as it appears on your instructions, A3 through E3, then enter. Then it says we must format the range of cells as follows: fill color blue and font color white background 1. Okay, for the fill color, go to font, under font look for this one, which is fill color. The fill color, they said it must be blue, and then the font color must be changed to white background 1. Just look for it. Once you get it, click on it, then you're done. And okay, it's fine. Let's see what is the other instruction. It says use a formula to in cell E4, use a formula to determine the total sales for the product by multiplying the total number sold per product by the price per product. It says use a formula to determine the total sales. Okay, in this case we are told to use a formula, but what if we were told to use a function? If we are told to use a formula, you are going to add everything up, or to multiply everything up manually. Every time you are inserting a formula, every time you are inserting a function, if you are told to multiply, you use an asterisk for multiplication. You use an asterisk only when you are told to use a formula. If they said to use a formula in the cell wherewith you are required to insert a formula, a function, you start by typing equal to in that cell. Once you type in equal to, it now tells Excel that you are opening a function, you are opening a formula. So it is equal to, they said we must determine the product total by multiply the total number sold per product by the price per product. So we are going to say equal, but you should check whether the instruction says use a formula or we use a function. If it says a function, it means that you are going to use a built-in function. You are going to use a built-in function. For multiplying, if in case you are writing Excel on Friday and you are told use a function to multiply, just know that it is a product. Product is for multiply. It's for multiplying. Product, use a function, it's product. Okay, open parenthesis, it's product, it's product tab, and then which is C4. Then the separator here, it will show you that the separator is a semicolon. Then you separate it by the semicolon, and then control enter. Why control enter? I'm using control enter because I want to insert this data in this cell and then keep other cells selected. Why do I keep the cell selected? Because the next instruction will say use the fill handle to copy the formula in E4 from E5 through to E15. Left the cell selected because I know that I'm expected to copy this formula. How to copy a formula or a function down is to come to this to the bottom right corner over the cell where with you opened a function, you will see a square. Once you see that square, go to that square, then you will see a fill cross. Once you see a fill cross, then you can drag it down, or simply you can just stand on the fill cross, then double tap, it will copy the formula. But if you were to submit if you were to submit project 2 like this, it would be wrong because they said use a formula, not a function. They said a formula, insert a formula to determine the product total by multiplying the total number sold per product by the price per product. Okay, now we are going to use a formula. If you see an instruction that will say copy the formula down, in this case, the first thing that I do is to select the range of cells with I'm expected to copy the formula down, and then start inserting the function. That will be cell C4 multiplied, we use an asterisk for multiplication, by T4, and then on your keyboard you hold control, you press enter, it will copy the formula down. It will copy the formula down until the last range of cells that you have selected. Okay, let's go to the next instruction. The next instruction says on the range C4 through C14, on this range C4 through C14, the name box, just type in the range as it appears. It says C4 through C14. Let me check the instructions. Okay, it says C4 through C14. C4. There's a mistake that happened here. Okay, it's in this cell. It's equal to the cell multiplied by this one, then copy it down. Then it says C4 through C14. It's C4 through C14. They are saying apply the yellow fill with dark yellow text conditional formatting to the range where values rank in top 10. Whenever you see where values rank in top 10, just come to the styles under home term, the styles group, conditional formatting, you'll see it. Cells will highlight the bottom or top rules because they said where they rank in top 10%. So this is top 10%. Apply a yellow fill with a dark yellow text. Then okay, it's fine. Let's go to the next instruction. The next instruction says on the range D4 through E14, format the values to currency. D4 through E14, D4 through E14. Format the cells under home tab on number. Press this drop down and then look for currency. Make sure that the symbol is R and the number of digits is 2. Then okay. So what is the next instruction? It says E4 through E14, apply the red border conditional formatting to the range where values are greater than 1500. Okay, in this range we are going to apply a conditional formatting to the ranges where they are greater than 1500. A red border to the cells where their values are greater than 1500. So I will first select the range or type in the range in the name box and then go to conditional formatting, highlight cells rules greater than, then type that 1500, then look for red border. Okay, you're done. Okay, it's fine. Now we can go to E18, E19, E20, E21, E22. These instructions, I will only read the instructions, then I will do them after. It says use a function. Listen to the instruction, what it says. Use a function. If it's at a formula, you know what to do. But here it says use a function to display the total number of listed products by explicitly using the product description column, meaning that you are going to use a built-in function. Whenever they say a function is a built-in function, meaning that you have to know that function that is required from you. Here they're saying use a function to determine, to display the total number of listed products by explicitly using the product description column. Okay, we are going to use the count function. the counter function. The counter function, it calculates number of cells or a range of cells that are not empty, or cells that are not empty. It displays the total of cells that are not empty. So I will say counter and then tab, because I'm told to explicitly use the column description, the product description column. So enter. Here they say use a function to determine the least efficient product sold. Okay, when you see the list, the smallest value, it is the smallest value, which is the minimum. So tab, enter, equal to, here I'm going to use the maximum function still on the product sold. Then here it says the average product total, meaning that I'm going to focus on the product total, and it's average. Average is straightforward, it's just average, equal to average. Then select the range of cells or type in the range of cells. Here they say the total revenue. You are going to use a function to determine the total revenue. Whenever they say total revenue, meaning that you are going to sum everything up, or you are going to add everything up. So it will be equal to the sum of all these cells that contain the product total. Then enter. So okay, fine. Let's go to then the following instruction, which says create a chart to display each of the listed product total sales using the information as follows. Select the range, product description column, and E4 through E14. Just like we did on the tens worksheet, we are going to do the same. Firstly, we are going to select the product description. Right before we release the mouse, hold Control on your keyboard, release, then select another range. Then we are told to insert a 3D clustered bar. We are told to insert a 3D clustered bar. You can see that it says clustered bar, but if you were to select this one, you will be wrong, because you are told to insert a 3D clustered bar. So go to all charts, under bars, look for 3D clustered bar. Once you find it, click on it, then choose any between these two. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. Now they say we must rename the chart title to total sales, like we did on the tens worksheet. We are going to do the same. Product total sales per product, then enter. Then we are going to position this chart from sales, or from range of cells G2 through O20. Okay, then adjust this one a little bit to 20. Okay, now we are done. So what else? We must change this color to color 4. Go to change colors, and then use colorful palette for this is color 4. So to make this chart to have rounded corners, okay, I will come back to that. Firstly, let's add the chart elements. They said we must add chart elements and make the primary horizontal none. Because they were selected, we are going to deselect it by selecting it, and then in data labels to display values, more data labels. Then once it opens values, it's fine. Now let's click on the chart to select the whole chart, or the chart area. It said we must make use insert apply a pattern fill to the chart area, and also rounded corners. So to do that, I'm going to double tap on this chart. It will open a menu, and then you can see fill, pattern fill, dotted 10%. If it's at 10%, just know that it's dotted 10%. And then for rounded corners, we go to border, and then you'll find rounded corners. Then you're done. If you can check this thing here, you'll see that it has rounds. Okay, let's go to the last one. The last one says we must change this chart to 3D pie. To change this chart, you click on it, and then chart type, and then pie 3D